Hi everybody, welcome back. I have another fabulous project to show you guys. I got this platter at the Dollar Tree, and I thought it would be a really fun way to show you guys just another thing that you could alter and, put some flowers on, things like that. Okay, so it is metal. I did have a kind of a hard time getting the price tag off on the back. I did let it sit in water for a little while, and then I took an SOS pad and it came right off. But I don't know why I didn't think about the SOS pad, but I was about to throw it out the door. So if you could leave a comment below on like something that on metal now, because on the glass I can just take Windex and that little price tag will come right off. But for some reason, when I was trying to get it off of this, it was a nightmare. But anyway, so I got it, and now we're doing this video. Okay, so I love Shabby Chic stuff. It's like my go-to thing. And when I was thinking about altering this platter, I thought, oh, it would be so pretty in this. I think it's called, ballet slipper. So pretty. This Waverly chalk paint. Now, the reason why I like this chalk paint is because, like, there's no prep or anything. Like, you can put it down and just go with it. I don't have to, like, put kilts on it or anything like that. And I use this a lot for like my wooden signs that I do. So I wanted to try it out on here. I haven't tried this yet. And by the way, I love this like decorative border. So going to like shabby this up. You have no idea. Okay, so what I'm going to use is a foam brush, and I'm just going to dip it in some water just to get a little bit, just so it's easier to maneuver around in the paint. Okay, so I just took a paper plate and I put some on there, and I'm just going to dip my foam brush, and I'm going to start covering this. All right, it might take a couple of coats, and don't worry, you're not have to sit here and wait for me to do this. So I will be right back with the finished product. Okay, guys? Okay, so I wanted to pop in here real quick before we went on to the next step. I was using the foam brush, and that was great for the first layer. But I found that as I was going on to my, this is now my third layer, it just was not giving me the look that I was wanting. And I felt like it was like, because it was so rough, that it was pulling up some of it. And it wasn't completely dry because I'm trying to rush things. But I did find that my acrylic paintbrushes are working so much better. So I would suggest going and using this to get all the little nooks and crannies and stuff and put on your first coat is great. But after that, I would go back with the acrylic brush, and the coverage is so much better. And I just wanted to pop in here and tell you guys that. But okay, so when I come back, we'll be ready to decorate this. Oh, actually, no, because we have to distress it first. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we've got our surface covered, it took about 3 or 4 coats. I'm going to go back, and I'm kind of like distress it a little bit. I'm going to go back over it first with the white, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of white on my palette here, and the blue is just from another project video that I'm working on right now. And I am going to wet my brush, but I'm not going to take the water out of the brush. I'm going to keep the water in the brush, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of that paint, and it gives you like a watery paint. So this is like whitewashing. And I'm going to take it and just kind of pounce. I don't want a whole lot coming out. And I'm just going to kind of run it over the sides. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And I want to do this, and I'm just all over the plate, but I'm going to start on the sides first. And I'm picking up in that same location that has that water and paint mixed together. And I'm just going over it like this. I'm not getting too fancy with it, or, if you need to do more, I'm just going to put my brush back in the cup of water, pick up, and blot it on the side there. And run my brush over. Isn't that really pretty? So pretty. And I'm just doing long strokes, dipping it again, pouncing it over here. And this is what we call a whitewash. So some of you probably already know. Some of you who are new, to crafting and stuff might not have seen this technique, but I love it. really when I'm working with a shabby chic, that and distressing is my favorite techniques. So I'm not going to get too crazy with it or anything. I'm just trying to, I do want a little bit more white to show up down here. So I'm going to pick up some of that paint and just kind of go along the edges. I think it really pops the design on the plate. And I'm just lightly going around. I'm not doing too much pressure. And I'm just kind of evening, or how do you want to say it? I'm just kind of smoothing out those strokes. And I'm just going to go back. Okay, so I think I've got it to where I want it. And some of this is going to get covered up by the flowers and stuff we put on it. So that's what our plate looks like so far, guys. Of course, I will insert a picture of it right here. And we will continue in just a moment to decorate it. But you want to wait for it to really dry really good before you decorate it. I can't even talk. If you want to, you can spray some acrylic over it. But I kind of like, well, now that the whitewash is going to be on it, you have some of the acrylic paint. This is, I guess it's like a satin. It doesn't really tell me. It's not high gloss, I know that, so it's got to be like a satin. It will have like kind of like a sealer on it, I guess. Not really. It's not really going to seal it, but it's going to seal some of this chalkiness that's on it. But if you want to, you can spray it with some clear acrylic. You can go over Mod Podge with it or something like that. I'm not going to do that because I don't know. I just don't want to do it. No, you don't have to do it. When you spray with the acrylic, it does kind of give like a gloss over it, and I don't want that for my shabby chic look. Now, if I was doing like a traditional look or like just boho or something like that, that's great. But for this, I want it to dry, and I kind of want that chalkiness to still kind of be there. Matter of fact, before we go, I'm going to show you, because I like distressing things too. You're going to do kind of the same thing, but I'm going to pat out a little bit of the water that I put in my brush. And I'm just going to pick up some of that. Well, I'm going to pick up the paint, and then I'm going to put it in the water. And I'm just going to I don't want it too watery, not like the whitewash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my paper towel and drain all the excess water out of it. Open it back up, because I want a damp cloth. And I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to kind of tap around like this real quick before it has time to dry anywhere. As you can see, it's just really random. And I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to kind of take my towel and I'm picking up some of that brown that's on there. This is what it looks like so far. Now I'm liking it, but I'm like, oh, it kind of took away a little bit of the white, so maybe just a few spots here and there. So I know I still have some of the brown. Let me just wash it out a little bit better. So I'm going to take it. And just go back over it like this a little bit. Just real quick. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So if the camera is going to pick up on this, you can see it like kind of settling in between those little designs right there. I kind of like it. Now you could do the same thing, like, go back over it with like a whitewash of the brown, but I don't want it to get it everywhere. I just wanted spots here and there on it. And if you really wanted to take it up a notch and kind of, make it a little bit more like shabby chic, but like with a little bit of a modern twist or something to it, you could put, this is rose gold, and you could kind of take that. That is so pretty. Look, let me pop that bubble real quick. maybe it'll show up in there. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. Okay, so you could take, I like using these for this technique. These are natural sponge set by Folk Art. They look like little, I don't know, things that you see in the sea. Because they are. No. Let's get them out. Why is this being so hard? Okay. Take that. And I'm actually going to wet this a little bit because I don't want it to be so stiff when I use it. So I'm going to just dip it on down in there. Squeeze all the water out. Take my paper towel and just kind of make sure I get a lot of that water out. So I really don't want any water when I'm doing this. So I'm just going to get a little bit on here like this. I didn't really put much on there. And I'm just going to go and tap around the sides. Now, if you want to wait until the end to do this, because some of this is going to get covered up. And I'll probably incorporate the rose gold into some of the leaves. But in person, it looks really pretty. I don't know how it's going to show up on the camera. Let's see if the light will hit it on some of them. But you can go back and touch it up a little bit more. Okay, so at this point, I think I'm done. This is just for a tutorial and something to hang up. All right. Now, after you get done with and how you want it to look and everything, I have a little, what is this? This is from Craft Smart. This is the thing that I used. Let's see, it says, in our home, let love abide and bless all those who step inside. Okay. Super cute. I got this at Michael's, and this is an adhesive, yes. So you can take this. Now, I don't know if I want it to go this way with it or this way with it. I guess it depends on my flowers I'm going to put on it. I think I want to, let's see, I don't know if I want flowers going up and maybe put it more up like this. And having the flowers go up, I kind of like it like this. So when I get back, I'm going to have my flowers, this, and what color I'm going to put on the background, and we'll get this decorated in no time, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start decorating our tray here. Oops. So this is, I got the adhesive silk screen, it's actually silky too, down. And I think I'm going to use this because of the colors I'm using for my flowers. Now, all the flowers that I'm using here have been handmade by me. You can find the templates to these in my shop. The only thing that's not, I don't think is in my shop is my ferns yet. And look how super cute they came out. Oh my God. I love coloring things. But anyway, so this is my Sybil Rose, and all of the flowers have been decreased by 50%. That means that I've shrunk them down. But yeah, the leaves, the flowers, all of it, they've just been shrunk. See, and I use stamens in the middle instead of a paper flower. A paper stamen for those. That's my Abigail. This is my Sybil. This is my Zinnia flower. Okay. Anyway, so let's get started. So I wanted to use this color. Let me see, cranberry wine. Isn't this beautiful? This is such a pretty color. Love this color. So I think I'm going to try to use this for this. Okay, for the wording. I'm going to just take a piece of tape and I'm going to go over this because I don't want this to come out. I just wanted the words to show up. So I'm thinking I don't have any painter's tape. So I'm going to just use some masking tape and I'm just going to cover them up. Just so when I put down, now this is my first time using one of these. My hands are all jacked up. And I just totally ripped my whole entire nail off of my finger. Ouch! Let's put this up here, making sure I don't cover any of the letters. So I'm just covering that little area up. Of course, I don't want to cut it or anything because these are reusable. And I might want to use this whole entire thing sometime in the future. Okay, so I know that you traditionally are supposed to, like, you know, go across like this with these, but I'm really going to just try to just pounce on it with one of my little dabber brushes. And let's see where to just put it right here. And let's see how this turns out. I'm just going to use my palette that I was using. Back over there. All right. So I'm just going to open it. Oh, don't do that, guys. Forgot to shake it. This is a brand new bottle. Okay. So just shake it up really, really well. Great. I've like lost all the liquid out of that, but that's okay. And this is one of my favorite paints, Americana. I do decorative and tool painting, and well, I haven't done it in years, like 10 years, but and this was by far my favorite paints to use for that. All right, so I'm gonna take just a little tiny little dabber or little spongy dabber thing, put that in my paint, and I'm just going to dab over the words here, and let's just pray that they come out right. Okay, so I think I've got a nice clean look here. Now let's slowly pull this up, making sure I'm still right here. Oh, super cute. Okay, probably not the best, and you probably should have went like this because I can kind of see where some of it doesn't matter. Okay, let's move on. That is, you know, you can perfect it. You can, you know, just test it out before you want to put it on your main, but it looks good for me. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so I'm going to set that paint aside. And I'm not going to wait. So I'm going to turn it over, okay? Now I'm going to attach my jute. You can get jute at any craft store. I wouldn't use the jute that's at the Dollar Tree, guys, because it's kind of thin. If you can find some that is thicker, then, you know, more power to you. But I'm just going to measure out, like, right where I want it. And I don't want my hanger to be too high, so about there is good. I'm hoping I'm still on right. So I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to cut this. Now, one thing that I need by my side and I don't have, but I can add it on later on, is a piece of felt. I like using the felt on the backs of, like, when I'm working with metal. I don't know why, but I do. And just to cover up the back side, you know, where the jute's at, okay? Just so it gives it a really nice, like, firm hold to it. All right, so I'm going to start with some of this. This is just super glue. It doesn't matter, like, any brand's fine. I just happened to pull this out of the toolbox just a second ago, so we're just going to use that. So I do use some of this because I really want, you can use E6000, you know. And I'm kind of going by, because these two little marks right here, and I'm just eyeballing it, and hopefully I'm praying that my marks are kind of even. Now this you can get technical with, just for tutorial purposes. I'm just going to go with it. So let's see, why is this not coming out? Of course, you're not going to cooperate with me because I'm on camera. Okay, so I would recommend using super glue at this rate just to get for our time. I'm just going to do the hot glue right now. And it also gives you a really nice finish on the back too when you use the felt. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to take that all the way up. Ooh, that was hot. So this part you can perfect. So now we have our sign like this, okay? And you can add a little, little ribbon to the side here. I'll do that last though. Okay, so we've got our words on there. We've got our little hanger, and the reason why I tend to do the hanger, now before later is because this side is going to get bulked up, and you don't want to run the risk of your flowers getting smushed or anything while you're doing that. Okay, so we've got the hanger on there. Just line everything up. Now, the fun part. Let's decorate.
Okay, so here you're just going to see where I'm laying down the leaves and the flowers before I glue them. This is really a good idea so you can kind of see how your arrangement's going to look on your plate before committing and gluing anything down. So if you need to make adjustments, you can. I just showed the Martha Stewart punch. I punch out small little leaves and add them to my filler flowers, and later on you will see me use some of the little leaves on the larger flowers. So now I'm getting ready to glue everything down. I am just using regular hot glue. I do tend to use a lot of hot glue when I'm working on a surface like this. And the reason why is just to get a really nice secure hold onto the surface and my flowers or leaves that I'm using. I like using different foliage for my flowers and to stick in between just to kind of cover up some of the gaps that the flowers create on the surface. But there's other ways that you can cover them up, and that's by using like lace or trim. And a lot of times you'll see me use baby's breath too, and it's a really nice country rustic feel when I use the brown baby's breath. Now that I'm finishing up the project, I'm going to take my heat gun and go over the flowers. This is a great way to get rid of those glue webs that tend to kind of stay around after using hot glue.
So now that we're finished, voila. And this is a fabulous little piece that we just really, it's nickels and dimes when it comes down to it. We have $1 invested into the tray. And really when you break down the cost of the paper and stuff, like I can get all of these, I believe, on one 8.5 by 11, maybe two, and plus another. So I've got like a couple of, let's just say 5 sheets, maybe 6 sheets of cardstock, and hypothetically, whatever, so you don't have a whole lot invested as far as materials. Time, that's up to you. Whether or not you want to invest the time and, just getting really detailed with your flowers, or hey, spend maybe another dollar or two and get some pre-made flowers, and voila, there you have it. But I just thought it would be a really, really cute and simple, easy project that you can do, and it hangs just fine. I'll take pictures and I'll have them at the end of the video here. And it's a wonderful craft show piece that you could sell at a craft show. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. And please like and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more projects coming. And please, 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 send me some love down in the comments. Tell me what you thought. Just give me some more ideas on like some other projects that you want me to kind of show you. All right, guys. I really. Oh, before I go, I'd love to see your projects. I have a Facebook group. It's private, but there's only a few questions that you have to answer. Once you get in, though, you can share your projects. It has to be MPTS related, so just keep that in mind. And if you want to show me what you did, following my YouTube video, I would love to see it. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.